If you guys didn't know, Denver is also dealing with a huge migrant crisis down there, and they're being flooded with a bunch of people from Venezuela, Mexico, China, all over the world, Africa. And the citizens had a town hall meeting, and they expressed to themselves how they felt about these migrants and what the government is doing with their taxpayer money. Um, it's a completely different reaction that they had at this town hall. But let's tune in and see what's going on in Colorado.
Well, I see the city is treating the citizens like a bunch of mushrooms again. You haven't told us about the housing problem and that you want to make our schools into homeless shelters. And you tried to keep that on the down low. Now you try to keep this transfer station, which is going to turn into a money pit and a magnet for every criminal that's coming across the border. Don't we have enough problems in Lakewood without importing them from Denver, who is saying, yeah, Lakewood, you're stupid enough to take all of them. Take our problems, you dummies. We don't have the tax base to handle it. It's a money pit, and you guys are responsible for our money. Don't screw it up. You guys are famous for screwing things up. You build buildings without asking the citizens. Now
y'all see the pen in his hand shaking mad hard. Don't screw it up. You guys are screwing up. Don't screw up our money, man.
You want to build this thing? This thing is going to cost a lot of money to operate. And what if you get a bunch of kids? Then you're going to have to stick them in the schools. How is Jeffco going to pay for the kids in the schools? Who's going to buy the supplies to put them in the schools? This is going to be a money pit.
I love you. I love you. Thanks for tuning in.
Didn't you even think about this? Can't you guys think 5 minutes ahead?
Hambolt 4. Make sure y'all check
What
it
in
out.
the world are you doing up there? Do us a big favor and just quit. Get your sorry butts up and leave.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over while expecting different.
Yeah, I just gotta be honest with you, man. I love white people, right? They are so polite. They're so polite. Cause when the black people in Colorado and Chicago got up to use the mic, you heard them cussing them out. It was angry. Heads was about to shoot up the place. It was bad in there, man. I'll be honest with you. It was bad in there.
Results. San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, Miami, Chicago, New York, and Denver all have explosive homeless and crime rates. I'm not saying illegal migrants, all of them are criminals, but I am saying when resources are already stretched thin and they are scarce, people get desperate and commit crimes. Mail up and down my street is being stolen. We had a bicycle stolen out of our backyard. My son was attacked by a gang of these migrants. Funny how these invaders are all mostly men. He was beaten to a bloody pulp and left battered in the street. He was almost run over multiple times until he could drag himself to the sidewalk. Where was the government assistance for my son? And for all of the disgusting race baiters, my son is Hispanic. No one here is opposed to helping homeless. And the only side calling people names are on the opposite side of me. Denver's mayor just announced the need to pull taxpayer
Boston, Massachusetts.
dollars from DMV and Parks and Rec to fund the people that are not contributing to the pot. Veterans that bled for this country are being kicked to the curb to accommodate people whose first act was to break our laws. I'm flummoxed. Surely humanity is not actually this stupid. Government needs to be reminded that the money that they spend doesn't actually grow on trees. It comes out of our pockets. The money the feds are promising is also taxpayer money. Your salaries are paid by citizens. And our pockets are not your piggy bank. When you continue to dismiss citizen concerns by gaslighting us and using Orwellian doublespeak, you insult our intelligence. You were elected to serve Lakewood citizens. not these people that cut the line based on empty promises of handouts. Now taxpayers are expected to bear the weight of them in addition to everything else we are being taxed for. This is
I'm not far, no, you far.
a slap in the face of those that entered by legal means and that do contribute to the pot. I and most here are concerned had to fight and work hard for our homes, and your policies are taxing us into oblivion. There is a right and wrong way to rescue someone that is drowning so that you don't drown with them. The citizens of Lakewood are drowning, and you're all talking about adding more water. If you proceed, it only proves that you lack discernment and you don't give a damn about Lakewood citizens, just the almighty dollar. When has government actually ever done anything that benefited its citizens? And when the federal funding runs out, who's left holding the bag? Being a good neighbor is watering your neighbor's plants and collecting their mail. It isn't cleaning up their messes and collecting their strays. Your requirement of being a good neighbor is waived when your neighbor adopts such disastrous policies. Sometimes people need to clean up their own mess to learn from it. Wanting to afford to keep our homes and feed our families does not make us racist. And forcing us all into poverty solves nothing. Without law and order, we won't have law and order.
Thank you.
And the thing I wanted
I'm
to,
telling you guys, this is so much more calmer than it was in Chicago. This right here, these people in Colorado, Lakewood, I think that's the area. Sorry if I'm wrong. Yeah, Lakewood. This area, they are so nice. They're nice in Colorado in general, but you can see it's a complete difference of what they did in Chicago to what they're doing in Colorado when it comes to the migrants crisis. And they're both being hit extremely hard. Chicago, New York, and Colorado obviously are getting hit extremely hard, but they are taking it a lot lighter than the rest of the states. They're actually bringing them in. They're putting them in the hospitals, making sure they're getting health care. They're putting them in homes. They're sheltering them, and they're paying for them to play, sleep, and eat all day long.
point out is these huge amount of migrants, as you
With
call them,
taxpayer
illegal migrants, actually, we're housing these people, and it's going to cost an enormous amount of money. This federal money is not free money. Everybody's taxes are going to end up going up, and the crime is going to become incredible, just like New York City. And our infrastructure, our hospitals are going broke from all of this. And so what you're doing by housing these people here in our neighborhoods is aiding and abetting these people. And there's going to be a lot of crime that's going to come upon us because of what you're doing. And also, it costs an enormous amount of money, taxpayer money, that all of us are paying for and can't afford to pay for to house these people. So I'm against what you're doing to house them here in our neighborhoods, because it'll spill over outside of Lakewood, outside of your boundaries, and it'll affect all of us. And our law enforcement will reach the point where they cannot protect us. That's what I have to say.
How do you guys feel about these migrants coming in? I mean, we know that this is a normal thing, and this is happening all over the U.S., all over the world, pretty much. Even Ireland is having a bad migrant crisis right now. What do you guys actually feel about this? And is it affecting y'all cities like it's affecting these cities? It is in Boston, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. But it's not as bad as these other states.
Okay. Please, you guys, we all really need coordination tonight so that we can get out here at a reasonable time. I ask that we please not have any audible support or discourse. We have a lot of varying opinions in here, and I need you to please respect that. Again, we are neighbors, and this is how we need to be. We can recess the meeting if it comes to that. Any of our counselors can actually put forward a motion to recess this meeting if they feel that this is getting too disruptive for us to be moving forward.
What you see tonight is informed voters who've watched Denver's decline and don't want.
We're going to get through this last one, this last lady right here, and we're gonna move on to the next topic. But we want to just hear what she got to say. Let's continue.
Not the same here. I'm here to remind you that we need leadership that's focused on Lakewood's problems, not Denver's. Any city resources, time or money, focused on non-citizens necessarily steals from our infrastructure, schools, security, and human services. And we are already doing our part as federal taxpayers. The city budget is our money, not yours. And we, the people, need a fiscally responsible council
I agree.
who delivers on the services of Lakewood's charter. Madam Mayor, you
I
have
agree.
yet to earn the
I agree,
trust of your
Dana.
citizens. And the best way to build towards that trust is focusing your efforts on citizens first.
Hey, Jen.
Colorado Springs has already told Denver, no migrants, and you must do the same. We understand that holding you accountable does not end tonight and will require our ongoing oversight. But citizenship comes with responsibilities, and freedom is worth the fight. I feel you.
I stand with Colorado citizens. They know that, and they know, and we all know that this is a bunch of chaos happening out here in these streets, and it's got to get cleaned up immediately. It's got to get cleaned up. Shout outs to the Colorado people. They're much nicer than Chicago. I'll tell you that much. They're much nicer. They're much nicer. Shout outs to Colorado. I hope they get it together. I hope the people get what they want, and I hope that it works out for them. I really do. I really do. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all in the chat. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout outs to Chicago, Colorado, for real, man. The people are waking up. The people are waking up, and it's because we're allowing too many people to come in all at once, and they're not really being vetted appropriately. So we're letting in a bunch of criminals at the same time. We're letting in a bunch of good people also that are good for our community, that are going to be good people when they come here, but at the same time, we're letting in a lot of demonic energy, a lot of demonic demons